What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Once a Project Podcast, brought to you by your host, Brandon, which is me, my lovely co-host, Jackie, she's in the back, though. And then today, we have a super special guest. I remember seeing your content for a bit of time now, dude.
Yeah.
It's been a bit since I've seen your content. And I'm like, and what really got me intrigued was I forgot. I don't know what podcast you were on, but you were telling about your story and how you came to
Yeah.
the States. And that got me like super intrigued with you and your story and what you do. And so thank you for coming though.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
But yeah, bro, present yourself if you'd like.
Yeah, my name is Nick Jackuchan. I've been in the state for about 18 years now, moving here from Bangkok, Thailand,
Whoa.
and been here ever since.
So 18 years, bro. How old were you when you came?
I think I was 15. Yeah, 15.
15. Do you remember a lot from your...
Yeah, I mean, I still remember
Country?
like the childhoods and stuff and the
Wow.
country, but I mean, I kind of grew up here now.
Yeah, you
so-
grew up most of your life here.
Yeah.
When in Bangkok, Thailand, that's where.
Thailand, yep.
Is that like the main capital of
Yep.
Thailand?
Yeah, Bangkok is the capital.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know it's been a long time, but what are like one difference between Thailand from where your childhood to here and because you have kids, right?
Yeah.
What's like one difference that you've seen?
A lot, actually, a lot different than Thailand. But one couple things that different, I would say the cultures.
Okay.
I would say the Asian cultures and the Hispanic cultures are very similar.
Yeah.
We very like family oriented and stuff like that. But when you come here, when you turn 18, like everyone just moved out and be on
Yes.
their own. They're just kind of like kicking the kids out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. And another thing that I see different is the opportunity. I do think that there's a lot of opportunity here that you can create a better life. I mean, you can do that in Thailand or anywhere else too, but I think it's just very limited.
Right.
Everything's more money talk, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that about the family-oriented culture, the difference here with other countries, because I was listening to someone talk yesterday about how this guy from Afghanistan came to the States, and he's like, it's very odd because over in my country, in Afghanistan, we are used to like the son taking care of the mother,
Yeah.
you know, not after you're 18 leaving the mother alone, like
Yeah.
that mother gave you birth and you take care of her. And so that's interesting you bring that up because I'm like, that is kind of true. Here we're kind of more of like the independence,
Yep.
and you know everyone wants to be independent and not rely on anyone. And then your parents, it's like, yeah, we'll visit you on the weekend, type of deal. But
Yeah.
that's cool, man. That's cool that you see those differences because I think that teaches you a lot of how to kind of raise your kids, right?
Yeah.
Seeing the difference.
I married to a Hispanic lady, my wife from El Salvador.
Shout out
and,
to your wife.
Yeah, yeah. Is you from El Salvador too, or
No, I'm from Mexico.
Mexico? Okay.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, the culture is very the same. So like, I think our goal is to have that family oriented.
Yes.
In a family, teaching her young that family is important.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool that you guys are aligned in that. I think that's one of the most important things when you're looking for a partner is like, what are you aligned with as far as your values and beliefs? But bro, you do real estate, right?
Yeah, I do real estate.
And we are in a crazy stage in real estate. Would you agree with that, or what's your view on real estate currently?
I don't think it's just real estate. I think it's everything in general.
Correct.
I think everything's just crazy right now, economy and everything. Anyway, real estate wise, I do think that we're in the phase where interest rate is so high and the home price is high and first time buyer, people that want to get into a home just can't afford it. I think the affordability is the problem right now.
That's something I agree with you. I think that, you know, because I've been interested in, me and my wife have been interested in buying a home for some time now. And we're like, okay, well, if we can make, you know, because we pay a good amount of money here at this apartment. And I know that, you know, maybe 2-3 years ago, with what we're paying here, we could for sure
Yep.
afford a home that was
Yeah.
much bigger, much in a better spot, right? And when I, call certain places and certain loan officers, right? And they tell me, yeah, I mean, we're checking this and that, and you have to have this amount.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
it's a lot more requirements, I would say,
Yeah.
than a few years ago. But I don't think that just because of all that means that real estate in all is bad. I think that there's still a lot of good opportunities within real estate.
Definitely. I do see opportunities coming in the future here shortly. I just don't know when. Will the price go down? I would say yes, but will it go down to where it used to be a few years ago? Probably not.
Yeah,
Real estate always tend to go up by at least 1 to 3% every year. I feel like this past 2 years, the value has gone up a lot just because the low inventory.
right.
So the supply demand, there's more buyers but less supply, so it increases the price. So to me, for the price to stay stable, I do think that we need more inventory. Interest rate though, like we don't. I know it's gonna drop, but when? No,
Exactly.
if I know the future, I would be like, hey, wait, don't buy
Yeah.
it. But right now, my recommendation to everyone that looking to buy real estate, talk to the lender,
Yeah.
see what you can qualify for, right? And then if you can afford it, my recommendation is get into it now
Yeah.
because you're gonna start building equity. You're gonna start seeing real estate like you're not gonna lose money. Like
Yeah.
one way or the other, the real estate you're gonna either stay where you at for at least a year or two, and then it's gonna go up. I know it's gonna go up.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing too is like being patient
Yep.
with where you're at. I think I've seen both sides. I've seen people on one side want to buy a house and they have that desire, but they can't, right, because of their debt to
Yeah.
earning ratio
Yeah.
or they just don't qualify. But then I've seen the other part where they're like, yeah, I'm buying this house, and they buy it, which is great. But then it's like, could you have gotten something better within the next 2 years for the same price, or did you score right now?
Yeah.
And it's I think that just depends on a personal view, right? If you believe that that's the house and you score, great. But if 2 years later you're like, oh man, I just saw this other house
Yeah.
with more beds and more baths and same price.
Yeah. One example I can give you, Brendan, is I bought my home back in 2016, my first home. That house was worth 150 when
Oh
I bought
wow.
it, right? 5 bed, 2 bath. It's about half an acre, not half an
Wow.
acre, a quarter of an acre.
Quarter of an acre. Wow.
Here, actually, pretty close by. And now, fast forward to now, it's pretty much double.
Wow.
From 150, now it's 300. So if I were to wait,
It could go down or up, or what do you
it
think?
would go up.
It would go up.
So like 2016, me and my wife were like, we'll just keep renting.
Yep.
We were afraid to get ourselves into a home because we were like, we can't afford it.
Yep.
Our head was telling us like, no, don't do it, don't do it. But there was something, just a little something push us like, hey, let's talk to the lender.
Yeah.
And we compare our rent and our mortgage, and I was like, you know what? It's pretty close. Why
Yeah.
are we paying someone else
Money.
instead of we paying towards our own home?
Yeah.
So we decided, you know what? Let's do it. And now looking back, if we were to wait to buy that same house, we probably have to pay either $50,000 more or double now.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I would say if you're gonna get into a home, talk to a real estate agent, talk to a lender, and see your option. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Don't force yourself. Don't be house poor. Like
Yeah.
that's what I try to tell all my clients. Like if you can afford it, it's okay.
Yeah.
Don't like be frustrated over it.
Yep.
Maybe in the future you might be able to try to find something, but right now it doesn't work out. Then just stay where you are. But if the number lined up, do it. I would say if the number lined up for you guys, I would say jump.
Yeah, I like that you say that about because giving your clients that option of like, hey, like if it doesn't make sense, don't.
Yeah.
Even recommending them, and after I'm sure you probably sit with them and their lenders and you talk about things like that, if you can tell
Yeah.
in their face like, oh man, that's
Yeah,
way more.
to me, that's why I do real estate. When we first bought our first home, like we didn't have anyone to help, and our experience was I feel like we were being pushed to buy it.
Which
So
happens a lot, right? Because
yeah,
it's the thing with these type of jobs like real estate, insurance, these commission based jobs. There's a lot of great people that like yourself, and I'm sure there's others that that are like you, right? Where they're not pushy, but then there's a lot of people who are pushy just to
yeah,
get that commission.
yeah. To me, I want to help people. Like I want to educate people, and instead of buying real estate, I want people to think of creating wealth. I see real estate as building your own wealth because real estate is one way to invest your money in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna ask you where when you bought your house, were you already in real estate, or when does
no,
that journey start for you, and how does it start?
real estate career. It's actually started last year. I just
Oh
been
wow.
doing real estate less than 2 years, man. I just got on last April, but what pushed me to do it was that first home that we bought 2016. We turned that into a rental,
Oh okay.
and we went to go buy another home, and we see like cash flow coming in
Yep.
from that rental, and I was like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah.
I want to do more, and I
Gotcha.
want to help people start like learning about real estate, learning about how they can create
That wealth.
wealth.
When you
So
what were you doing when you bought that second home? Because you were not in real estate
no,
yet. So
no,
what job did you have?
we can go way back, but before real estate, I was doing car sales.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was working at T-Tom Volkswagen here in town, and I was doing that for about 3 years. But yeah,
So I have a question about that, and you can answer if you want or not. But with that, is that a fully base commission job, or is it?
yeah, fully
It's
base
not
commission.
hour or
No,
half.
yeah,
Oh, interesting. And how is that? How is that? Selling a car to selling a home different? Obviously, the commission is 10 times better in a home, right?
definitely.
But how is it different, or how is it the same?
I would say they're very similar. The only thing that different is with car business, you trying to get a car sales every day, right? It's faster pace.
Yeah, it's like a more
Yep,
movement.
like you always want to. That's a quota that you have to meet, and it's very competitive, very toxic. I would say.
Really?
I
Wow.
would say, but
Well, yeah, because everyone's a shark.
yeah,
Everyone's a shark
yeah,
trying to get those seals, man.
yeah.
That's interesting that you say that. And I think with real estate, it's more like a
You can't do
relationship
it.
type of
Yeah, you can't push
business.
people to buy a home within a day. Like it's
Right.
a big purchase. You want to make sure that you advise them. I hate being pushed. So I'm like,
Yes.
so
How's it when you bought your first home, that's a rental now. How does it work from going to buying a second home? Because I would assume they would ask you for like, hey, dude, you already owe a
yeah.
mortgage.
That,
Like,
yeah, there's a lot of way that you can do. But what we did was we start marketing the home like so people can come in and rent it. So we have a lease in place before we go and apply for a new loan. So like we
gotcha.
saying that this house going to be available for rent in 30 days. We take an application now, and what we did is we receive application. So we use the application, we use that lease agreement, we turn it into our lender, and the lender pretty much used that and took that mortgage off our credit report
Oh,
because
interesting.
because pretty much we getting income
Right.
to come in and yeah.
Right. Yeah, interesting. That's cool.
That's a lot of way. That's a lot of way that you can do. So what I would say is, if you guys interested or anyone interested, let's talk to me
Yeah.
privately, and then I can help you guys game plan it and stuff. So
Yeah, I like that you say that because yeah, I know for sure of someone who, I don't know how serious they are per se,
yeah,
but I know of someone who's interested in doing something like that of renting their current home and then trying to buy another one. And my question has always been like, okay, I know you can make it work,
yeah,
but the thing is like I wouldn't want that person to give us such a huge down payment and like
yeah,
have two mortgages affect their
yeah.
stuff, and I don't
Yeah,
know.
that down payment that you just mentioned, I feel like a lot of people have misconception. People always thinking that they have to have 20% down to buy homes and stuff. They don't.
How much right now in this current market? How much do you have to have?
Depends on the loan program, but you can do as low as 3%. You can do as low as 5%. Depends on the loan program, but you don't need 20%.
Yeah,
To me, the more money in your pocket, the better.
right.
If you can put the least amount of money down, but you can still afford it, then put the least amount of money and keep all your money in your pocket, because you never know, like, a lot of things could happen in life, and let's say you need something, let's say something break, or you need to do some renovation in the home, you have that money.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense. So if I was a customer, right, Nick, and I wanted to buy a home, let's say I come to you, right? I'm like, hey Nick, I want to buy a home, but I want to wait till the elections pass. I want to wait, till see what happens with
yeah.
with the feds, with the federal government, and just all that. But I'm already preparing from now, which we're in July. What would be the first steps you would recommend a client to do?
My first step would be like, why do you want to wait?
Ah, okay.
Like, why do you want to wait? Because I feel like right now, with all the elections and stuff going on, the Fed's not gonna change. They're not gonna do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
They want to lay low. So
Okay.
like, interest rate not gonna go
Down or anything.
too high or too low. Like, we don't know, but like right
Right.
now, if the interest rate right now, I would say about 6%. If that number makes sense, why wait?
Right.
If you have a home that you like and you can get into it, I would say why wait?
Yeah.
But I would listen, right? I would ask questions. But first step, if you want to prepare yourself for that moment, I would be like, hey man, let's get in touch with the lender and look at your options.
Yeah. What's better, I guess maybe I would have to ask a lender, I don't know. But what's better, is it a lender through like a bank, or a lender as in like a private lender, or a lender who is like an insurance agent who just finds different lenders,
Like broker.
Like, yeah, like a broker. Well, to you, what have you seen that's worked better for people?
I would say depends. I would say if you have a relationship with someone, try that person first. But
Gotcha.
I would say the best advice I can give you, I would say credit union is really good. The local broker is really good. The reason I say broker is because they have a lot of options. They can shop around. They can
Right.
get you like the lowest rate. I do not like national lender. The national lender, I would to qualify to explain the national lender, like Rocket Mortgage.
Okay.
Those one are so bad, man. Like, people see them on commercials and stuff like that, but the reason I say it's bad is because they don't have local underwriter. Um, they advertise a lot, but they cannot deliver.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why they advertise, because they're not doing too well.
yeah.
What's for a process of buying a home? What does the process look like? You find the home.
Yeah,
What are like the next 2, 3, 4 steps?
for sure. Well, first, you met with the agent. Second, you met with the lender, and then third, you start your home search. And I would say this: any realtor friends on this podcast, if you guys listen, you probably agree with me. You don't want your clients to go look on Zillow.
Really?
Yeah,
And that's interesting because everyone looks on Zillow.
yeah. People, even me back in the day, I look on Zillow, but Zillow, one thing that problem that people don't know is they don't update the status. So there's a home that you like, it could have gone pending already yesterday. It could have gone pending
Oh,
2 weeks
see what you
ago,
mean. Yep.
but sometimes they just don't update it.
Yeah.
So your agent can send you their own link that have all the listing like
To them,
Yep.
to like what
Yep.
they have available.
So I would say your agent will send you his app, his link, whatever, and you can start your home search from there. I mean, you can still look on Zillow or Realtor.com, but maybe send it to your agent and be like, hey, is this one still available?
Right, because
And
they would
your-
check.
Yep, and your agent can check that.
Yeah, I had that funny story. I had that happen to me. I went on this app. I forgot. I think it's called the Redfin or something like that.
Okay.
And I saw this house that was like for 100K, and I was like, "Why is this house so cheap?" And it looked
Yeah.
good, you know, where the area, everything. It was like 4 beds and 2 baths. I was like, "Why is this 100K?"
Yeah.
So I called a buddy of mine who's an agent, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that house." He's like, "The interesting part about that house, and you probably would know about this house, is that you can't look on it. It's like an auction type of house.
Yep.
You can't look inside. You don't know what's wrong with it. You can't even have an inspector go
Yep.
and have an inspection done." And he's like, "It's a tricky spot. You know, if you want to buy the house, it's a hit or miss.
Assets, yeah.
You know, whether it can go really, really well for you and the house be nice, or it can go really, really bad for you."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Man, that sucks." So how does that work with those auction houses, and why are those like? Is that the houses the banks pick up or what?
Yeah, the bank picked it up because the owner cannot make the payment, so I just go into the foreclosure. And sometimes the foreclosure the bank put on the auctions and stuff like that. So
Have you seen those houses turn really, really good or really, really bad?
it's a hit and miss.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Oh, man.
it's 50% chance. So
Man, yeah, I guess it's based on your luck, right?
yeah, just based on your luck, and I mean, the number just kind of explain itself. There's no way you can find a house 4 bed, 2 bath for $100,000 nowadays. So that's kind of explained. Like you have to go in and renovate it or like flip
Yeah.
it. So I would look at the value of the home and the current market value. Like right now, 4 bed, 2 bath, average about like good condition, probably $300,000 and up. So I would say if you see $100,000, it's probably in a rough condition.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy because we've talked a little bit about the market, and it's been like, you know, we see interest rates go up, we see house prices go up, but I still find it interesting that a lot of people are coming to, especially Idaho Falls, to buy homes. Why do you think that is?
Affordability. People from different state, the house price is higher, right? Over here, I feel like we're not as big of a city, but we growing, we getting
Yeah, we're
bigger,
getting
right?
there.
But I think we still staying like stable. People see the home price, like especially Californian people, to buy a house 4 bed, 2 bath, nice condition, it's like almost $800,000.
Whoa.
So to them, if they want 4 bed, 2 bath, and people that looking for retirement or they want to start like their life over, they look at 4 bed, 2 bath here in a 350, 300. They're like, why not move there?
Yeah.
And we pretty much have everything. We have the outdoor activities. We have, I would say, good job opportunities. Like the INL is hiring like crazy. Amazon's coming here.
Yeah.
The FBI agencies is hiring like crazy. And
Yeah.
the only thing I would say is the minimum wage.
It's still, isn't that
It's
insane?
still low, but like I hope that one day.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think it still hasn't? Because listen, dude, I remember I was freaking 14. I was working illegally for some guy, and he was paying me under the table, but he was paying me at $7.25. And now that I'm 21, I still see that it's $7.25. And I was well, how many years has that been? 14 and 21?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been over 15 years still.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would say just I don't want to get into politics stuff.
Right.
But,
No,
you
no,
know,
I get
but,
you.
hopefully one day it
Yeah,
changes.
it is politics more than anything if
Yeah.
you really think about it. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, but I still think it's insane. You know, I don't want to get into politics either, but I'm like, that's crazy, dude. We need to go up in wage, like,
Yeah.
especially with the demand of like, of the demand of buying things, around here. I think the credit card debt right now is
Oh,
all
dude,
time high
it's
with
crazy.
with anyone in the nation, and so I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
For example, like just look at when you go to the store and trying to buy milk. Like
Yes.
a couple years ago, the milk were like $1, $1.50, and now it's like $3.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good example to tie with everything. Like cost of living is high, cost of real estate is high, but it's gonna keep rising.
Yeah, and
So
it's one of those things where like do my mindset is on because remember when the gas prices went up and
yeah,
they were like super everyone was like going nuts about it.
yeah,
And my wife, Jackie, she'd be like, "Man, it's expensive to put gas." I'm like, "You're still gonna have to put gas.
yeah,
It's not like you're gonna walk
yeah,
around."
yeah,
So if you think about it in the sense of like, "Oh my gosh, everything is so expensive. I can't," you know, you're gonna go into like I feel like a rut or like a hole of just negativity about everything and
yeah,
just feeling down. But if you look at it like, okay, well, I can't do nothing about it. I still have to eat my eggs. I
yeah,
still have to put gas. And if I have to, maybe put in a couple of extra hours at work, if you're working 9 to 5 or do side jobs, it's one of those, I think in time, it's one of those eras right now where if you're a person who is only a 9 to 5 person and doesn't do anything on the side, you're gonna have a very hard time, and it's gonna be very hard on you, and maybe your family possibly. But if you're a person who is a 9 to 5 or has a real estate job or commission based job, um, and you're not, and you know that it's not, you're not doing too well,
yeah.
then you will find something to do. You kind of have to bring on that mindset of I have to do something
I
because I
agree.
can't, I have to pay this, I have to do
Yeah,
this. So it's like you either get stuck or you figure something out.
yeah. Trying to me, that's why I love working in commission based job. Is because my back is always against the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have a plan B. Um, to me, if you have a plan B, you always gonna choose the plan B
Yeah.
because you already have that in your mind, in your mindset. Like it's not gonna work. I already have a plan B, so I'm just gonna go do the plan B.
Yep.
So to me, like this is it. Like I love the the urge that it gave me. Like I'm like I have a family to feed. I have a little girl that I don't want to disappoint her. I want to be
Right.
a role model to her, and I don't know. I just love that I get to earn the money that I'm supposed to make.
Yeah. Do you think that comes with how you grew up in your family, or where does that mindset come from? Because it's interesting enough. Not here we go again. Not a lot of people have that type of mindset.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people get complacent with
yeah.
where they're at.
Um, like we could go way back, man.
Let's
Like
do it.
I'm sure I'm sure we can get into it, but
Yeah.
so my family, when we first moved, my uncle moved here first. My uncle and his family moved here, I would say 40 years ago. And they were traveling to Yellowstones, and while they were traveling through, they were like, whoa, there's no Thai restaurant here. So in his head, he's like, there's an opportunity there.
Yep.
So what he did, he opened Thai restaurant
Oh,
here in
okay.
Idaho Falls, and he was doing really well, man. And then when I turned 15, my mom, like in Thailand, like back in that when I was 15, there's a lot of gangs, there's a lot of crimes and stuff going on. My parents want better for me, like just like every parents, right? They
Right.
want the best for their kids, and they were thinking like, let's move them to America, and then they can have a better life. Dude, I didn't want to. I didn't want to come here.
Right. Because it's a whole new world.
Yeah, and then I have all my friends. I was like in that teenager life where I'm like, I want to be here. Like,
Yeah.
don't change me, right? But looking back now, I'm like, I'm glad that I
They brought
changed.
you
But
here.
anyways, let's get back to this. So when I first moved here, my uncles already owned a restaurant. So I came when I was 15, working illegally. under the table getting paid cash.
Yep.
I was like, dude, 15 years old, getting $50 a day. I was
That's not
getting paid
bad.
$50. That's not bad, but I was like, whoa, this is cool. This is opportunity, you know? And
Yep.
so all my life, up until I would say 8 years ago, I was working at a family restaurant. And I think that helps build like my mindset because like I work at the restaurant from being a dishwasher up to like managing it.
Wow.
So like at 15 too, like new country, I don't know any English. I learned from scratch. And I think that's helped me build who I am today.
Right. And it's there's a comedian named Joey Diaz.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you know who he
No.
is. He's an older comedian now, but he says he's like he talks about because he's from Cuba, I believe, or Puerto Rico or something like that, and he's like, yeah, it's that immigrant mentality,
Yeah.
where a lot of immigrants, right? And I'm not just talking about freaking Mexico. I'm talking
Yeah.
about everywhere. I mean, everyone comes to this country, right? We have Europeans, yeah, people from Thailand, China, everyone. And he's like, a lot of immigrants, they come here and they go far in life because of that mentality of, hey, back home, it wasn't this nice.
Yeah.
Back home, it was way harder. And you bring that kind of that adversity with you. And if you're a kid, right, you grow up in a family who has that mindset, you learn based
Yeah.
off that. So with you, you're giving your little daughter kind of already
Yeah.
that view of like my dad is pushing, you know.
Yeah.
How does it feel when you look at her and you get this check, right, your commission, and you bring it home and you're like, I have food for my family, and you see
Yeah.
her, she hugs you. How does it feel
Feel
knowing
good, man. I think she's one of the main reason, one of my why.
mm-hmm.
So I always ask myself, why am I doing this? Why am I here today? Why am I like going to do this every day?
Mm-hmm.
I look at my family. I grew up. I do have mom and dad, right? But
Mm-hmm.
my dad's always gone because he has to work really
Mm-hmm.
hard to provide for a family. But I didn't like that. I didn't grow
Right.
up like having close relationship with my parents because
Yeah.
of that reason. And looking at my daughter now, I'm just like, I want to be here for you.
Yep.
I want to provide the life that I didn't have for you. But at the same time, I want to teach you how to earn it, right?
Yes.
And dude, going home after a long day at work, and she looked at you and she's just like, Papa, and like just saying those little things, smile at
Yeah.
you. It push you, dude. Like it
Yes.
just want you to do better. And they don't want fancy things. They don't want like all the shiny stuff. They just want you to be present.
Right.
And that's it. Like sometimes I didn't think. Sometimes I don't think about that, and because I grew up, I didn't have stuff. I just want to keep like buying things I never had before.
Right.
But to my daughter, like she looked at me and my wife. She just looked at us and she just like, that's all I want. I just want
Yeah.
you to be present.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a great lesson to learn, and that's I love doing this podcast because I get to learn
Yeah.
things like that from people, and you struck a nerve there, not of the presence. You're right. When you have a baby and they're little kids, they don't know what Apple
Yeah.
is. They don't know what Nike is. All they
Yeah.
want is you to be there, and I think that real estate real estate has had this surplus, right? But what I find interesting is that the people that I've talked to who are agents who are in real estate, they almost have kind of the similar story where they're like, I just want to have the freedom to be with my family,
Yep.
to if I don't want to work one day, I don't have to,
Yeah.
if I don't want to go show houses and go spend time with my family, I can do
You can
that.
do whatever you want. Yeah.
If I want to go golfing, I can do that.
Yeah.
I know you go golfing and all that.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. I don't know. That's a great value, man. That's cool. That's cool
Yeah,
that you think like that.
yeah.
Um, what makes a good real estate agent? What makes a bad real estate agent?
Um, what make good real estate agent? I would say communication,
Mm,
being honest, being upfront with your clients, and don't to me don't think about the commission. It will come. Like to me, if you're being honest, you're being upfront, you communicate with your clients and you educate your clients and care about your clients, I do think that clients can feel it, and if they feel that they are being taken care of, they're gonna transaction with you. They're
yeah.
going to do something with you, and it's not just transaction. It's gonna become
A
relationship.
relationship. Yep.
Instead of being just clients, now you're gonna become friends. And to me, that's what I'm all about. I want to build that relationship with my clients, and instead of calling them clients, I can call like, "Hey, Bob,
Yeah.
how's the family, man?" Like, like
Yes.
we can go back. So I do think that's what make a good real estate agent. I do see a real estate agent that look at clients like I treat all my, I believe that I treat my clients the same. The clients that in the $200,000 up to $1 million, I treat them the same. It doesn't matter what price point you at. I value them the same.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there's agents out there. I hope there's not many, but I do know that there's some agents out there that only help out higher end clients, and I know why. They make more money,
Yep.
but
It's like a status, right? Like a
it's yeah,
level.
but it's I don't know. I just don't think that's good. I
Yeah.
do. I don't know. I just feel like you should be able to help everyone, and at least you to the $200,000 people, they're gonna feel like, whoa, this guy does a lot of transaction, but he actually helping me out.
Yes.
Like he doesn't care about my status, So
How long does it take for a client to get a home?
depends,
The
man.
process.
Depends, but average it's about 30 to 45 days.
30 to 40, so
Yeah,
a month
a
and a
month
half.
within a month. It's the hardest part is trying to find a home they like.
Yes.
So that's the longest part. But once you find a home they like, it's typically about 30 to 45 days. So you were asking me earlier all the steps, what include to it. So I think we went off
Yeah. We can
different
talk about
direction.
family.
So you're looking at you start searching for homes. Your clients, your agent can start helping you out with that process. Once you find a home, it's called negotiation process. You write an offer. So you have your agent write an offer for you, and you submit the offer to the seller agent, and then typically it takes about 24 to 48 hours before you hear back. But in this kind of market, like I don't be surprised, like you probably gonna compete against some other offers too.
Right.
So keep in mind, sometime lowball offer, it's like you have to represent your clients whatever they want, and some clients don't always go at the asking price, right? But in this kind of market, I do recommend like, hey, be educated, talk to your agent know the market. If you really love the home,
Yep.
don't go in like $100,000 lower than the asking price.
Right.
So it's not gonna work. So after the offer get accepted, you the next step would be inspection. I highly recommend you get inspection done on the home.
Yep.
Don't make the same mistake I did. I didn't do it on my home because I really wanted it, and
What it cost you?
cost me a lot of money, because a week after we moved in, the furnace went out.
Oh, wow.
We found out all the window seals were broken. And we have to replace all windows. We have to replace our furnace. We have to replace our roof. So it's like buying a new home. So I do recommend get inspection done.
Yeah.
And with inspector, they'll go in and just note every defects on the home. And then typically when he or she get done with the inspection, they'll send you a report that you can review with your agent. And then after you reviewing them, typically what I educate my clients is like, don't worry about the little things like the paint on the wall or
Right.
like the missing plates cover on the outlet. Look into something that's seriously going to devalue the home.
Yeah, like the roof. Make sure your roof is good.
The roof, the foundation, all the electrical stuff, the plumbing, those big things. Just look at those stuff. And then you have an opportunity to, negotiate with the seller, like, hey, can you fix this? Can you give us credit? If for some reason the seller doesn't want to do any of the things that you asked for during the inspection period, you can back out. So like you're not stuck buying that home. So let's say
you can get stuck?
I mean, if you pass the inspection period, if you that's a limit. Yeah, like
wow. I did
you
not
can
know
buy
that.
the home as is. During the inspection, it's really really important that you go into details. Like, is this house worth it? How much work do I have to put in? If the seller doesn't want to fix any of the stuff that we asked for, are we okay going in and fix it ourselves? Like, that's a lot to go into that during that inspection period. But yeah, if you feel like, no, I don't think this house is good for me anymore, during that time you can back out.
Gotcha.
And
Go ahead.
and you can get I forgot to mention about the earnest money. When you're buying a home, you have to put earnest money. The earnest money is just like a deposit. But
How much is that usually?
typically I recommend my clients 1% of the purchase price.
Okay.
But you don't have to. You can do $1,000, you can do $500. But
Gotcha.
the more earnest money you show the seller, it shows that you're serious about buying the home.
Okay.
So it plays a lot. But that earnest money, it doesn't go away. It's actually going towards your purchase price, or it can go towards your down payment. It can go towards closing costs.
Oh, okay.
So it's your money that gonna go pay for something, but it's just sitting there showing
Like a security.
yeah. So just like if you pass the inspection period and you didn't ask for anything, but for some reason after that inspection period you're like, I want to back out, you still can back out,
Okay.
but you would lose that earnest money.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So that's a lot to go into buying a home, but and that's why you want to make sure you have a good agent on your
Yes.
side. So after inspection,
That's a lot, man.
yeah,
Holy smokes.
yeah. After the inspection is done, it will be the appraisal.
Okay.
The lender typically order the appraiser to go out and make sure that the home value matching with the price that you're buying.
Okay.
It's just to protect you and the lender.
Right.
The lender don't want to lend the money more
Go
than
ahead.
what's the house is worth, and for you, like, it's protect you not to overpay for the house. And during that appraisal, I would say the appraisal is the last time that you can negotiate. So let's say appraiser came back and the house they were selling for, like, let's say $500,000.
Yeah.
But appraiser came back and was like, this house only worth $450,000. What happened next is either you pay the difference
Okay.
if you
The
still
50?
want the house, the $50,000, or the seller have to reduce the price.
Right. And you can negotiate that.
Yep,
you can say,
negotiate
hey,
that. Be like, hey, your house is not worth $500,000. Can
I'll
you,
pay you. You can go and be like,
you can
I
do
can
half
offer
and
you
half, whatever.
$475.
Yep.
You want to do that?
Yep.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or that's also the last time you can back out and get your earnest money back.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot to go and
That's
play
intense.
with it. So yeah, so pretty much after the appraisal is done, that's it. When appraiser see the value match with the asking price, you move on to closing, and closing typically pretty quick.
Yeah. How much? So let's say I want to become a real estate agent.
Yeah.
I come to you. I'm like, hey, Nick, listen, bro, I want to go in. And you're like, okay,
Let's go. Let's
do
do
it. How much money would I need to have in my bank account to be okay with the next? Yeah, I don't know, because obviously, with real estate and any commission-based job, you don't know when you're going to get that paycheck, right? You can get it in a week, you can get it in a month, you can get it in 3 months.
Yeah.
So how much money would you, as a friend, right, would you recommend someone who wants to become a real estate agent to have?
I would say most agent will say the same thing, but I would say at least 3 to 4 months of money saved up.
Okay.
That will take care of all your expenses. That will take care of all your bills, your food, your whatever. You have 3 to 4 months. I think that would be good. Most people usually when they're first doing real estate, they join a team.
Yep.
And it helps because team provide a lot of value to you. Team provide leads, team provide support, mentorship, and just it's very beneficial to join a team. But I see a lot of new agent that just went solo. They just went and do it on their own. And if you have a lot of friends, family, and like you have a lot of fears of influence, it might work. But if you don't, if you're new to the area, it's gonna be hard, man, because just in this town, there's a lot of agents.
How many agents are around here? Would you say?
I would say
1,000?
over at least more than 500, in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah.
500. That's insane.
But we see a lot of agents already falling off, like kind of going off and not making it. And that's why, like, it's in this kind of market, I do think like being on a team helps a lot.
Yep.
But it's what you see. Like the value has to be there for you to see, you know?
Yep.
People usually worry about the split because when you're on a team, your commission, you have to split it with the team.
Is that half or is it different?
It depends. I don't want to go into it
right
now.
It's all good.
But yeah, usually it's half. But sometimes you have to weigh the value. Like if I get commission, if I'm on my own, let's say you were supposed to make $10,000. That $10,000, how much was it to go into marketing? How much is it to go to buying leads and stuff?
Yeah. Now, with that split, if you're on a team for that split, to me makes sense in the beginning, half, right?
For sure.
And I joined a team, and they're like, okay, this is the agreement. We'll help you out. You can be on the team. The split is half though. But then a year later, I come and I'm like, hey, I want to negotiate that split. Can we do 70-30? Is that possible, or does it say half?
I would say it depends on the team. Each team have different structure and stuff like that. The team that I'm on now, Top Notch Real Estate.
Shout out to Top Notch.
Yeah.
I know Anthony, by the way. I met him briefly at Dillard's. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Anthony's cool. His story is very, very good too. You should get him on here.
I want to. I actually have a pickle to pick with him. I'll tell you after because I don't want to freaking get at him on the podcast.
Yeah, but he started, dude. At first I didn't want to join his team.
Yeah.
I didn't know him.
You know my mom actually.
I know your mom.
Yes, you do. She's the lady who cleans the offices.
Really?
Yeah, that's my mother.
Really?
Shout out to you, Mom. I love you.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
What's her name again?
Yadira.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
She's cool, man.
Yeah. So Anthony knows her too.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Anthony knows that she's my mom though.
Oh, but yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. She's an awesome lady. She does really good job cleaning. So shout out to her.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. I mean,
That's crazy. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. I forgot where we were.
You're saying that with the team you're on right now.
Oh, with the team I'm on right now, I mean,
Top notch.
There's a lot. I mean, we younger team.
Yep.
And I feel like we bring in different way to do real estate, just because everything changes, man.
Yeah.
A lot of older team. Yeah, like I was with Anderson Hicks Group. Aren't
they one of the bigger ones around here?
Let's go back.
Okay.
I started my real estate career with Top Notch.
Okay.
I was with Top Notch for about 9 months. And then I was like, Anthony, dude, like I want to go work for Anderson Hicks. And he was like, why? Of course, he's trying to keep me. You know? I bought my home with Anderson Hicks.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I feel like they are one of the biggest team in town.
Yes.
So I was like, if I want to be the best, I need to work with the best.
Yeah.
It's not the case, man. Like they are the best, but sometimes you just don't fit in. Things that you believe in just not the same, right? That doesn't line up.
Yep.
I learned that very quickly, and I was like, Anthony, dude, I want to come back. And of course, he'd been trying to get me to come back, so I'm like, perfect. Let's
Yeah. Let's
let's
do
go.
it.
Let's go home. Um, things that I believe in is technology is always changing, right?
Yep.
Always growing. Everything's all social media now.
Yep.
Older team like Anderson Hicks, older teams like any other older team, they do things and it worked. And this town is so small that like people mindset still about 10 years behind bigger city.
Yes. I'm glad you bring
But
that up.
but top notch, we bring in all the things that big city are
Brings.
doing
Yep.
and we try to implement it here. Yeah, it's tough, but eventually when that 10 years gap catch up,
Yep.
we already gonna be ahead of everyone else, if that makes sense.
It does. I see that a lot, and I see that a lot, especially with you, with Anthony, and just the top notch people. Some of them, um, where I see you guys focus a ton on like the social media influence, and do a bunch of things
Yeah.
with social media, whereas the other teams that I know of, they're more so, not on social media. They're more so phone calls and
Yeah.
knocking on doors type of deal.
It works though, right? It works, and I feel like our team's doing that too. Our team do both. Our team's still making phone calls. Our team still go do door knocking. But what we think is gonna be beneficial for our team and everyone on our team is social media.
Yep.
And dude, like I hate being on camera. I hate
Really?
it. I freaking hate it. But
That's funny.
one thing that I learned, you had Scarface come in here
Yeah,
before.
that's cautious. Shout out to Edgar.
Yep, Edgar. Me and him go way back. Dude, like he's going off right now, man.
Yeah, it's sick because that's what I was telling him. I was like, it's cool that because he was telling me it's taken me 8 years, to get where I'm at now, and I'm like, that's the thing about it this way. I was like, that's only the beginning, bro. That's
Yeah.
that's the sick part is that it was 8 years, but now you're seeing
Yeah.
the return.
And why I believe social media worked, I have an opportunity to showcase who I am, right? You see me on social media, that's actually who I am. Like I'm not faking it. Like I love being funny. I love sports. I love
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. So I have an opportunity to show people like, hey, I'm a goofy guy
Yeah.
that does real estate, but also I love sport. I'm very competitive. But people learn that about me. People can see me on there and like learn about me, learn about my family, learn about what I love to do. Now I'm attracting
Yep.
people that love to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to work with everyone. I want to work with the one that want to work with me.
Right.
And I think that's why I'm focused like heavily on social media is because that I get to showcase that.
Yeah, and we'll think about it this way too. With social media, it's growing so rapidly year by year, and um, you know, yeah, maybe someone who's like older locally around here may not know about you through social media, but someone from outer can
They can-
find you
yeah.
through social media, and they can see they're
Yeah.
kind of okay. This is the type of I like this type of person. They give me a good vibe,
Yeah.
and so that's cool. I was gonna ask you, shoot, something about your team.
Oh,
I was gonna ask you. I forgot. It's all good.
no, you're good. You're good. Well,
Yeah,
it'll come back.
Yeah, well, it'll come back. So with real estate, you were saying that you need about 4 months of
Yeah.
expenses. How does one who's let's say you're 4 months deep and you're not having any luck, how do you get through that? And I'll kind of give you my mindset with it
Okay.
after you answer.
To me, within 4 months, it should already show. Like,
You think so?
I do, man. Like, to me, being on the right team, being with the right mentorship, within 4 months, you should have at least 1 or 2 deals already, in my opinion. If
Okay,
not,
yeah, that's reasonable.
if not,
Then it's the person. Do you think?
is it? I don't know, but if not, I would be like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, I think you as a person, you have to look at it right. If it's me and I'm to you, right, and I come to you, I'm like, hey bro, like I want to do that, blah blah. 4 months pass and I'm like, Dude, I'm out of fucking money. Sorry, I swear, bro.
You're good. You're good. You're good. I'm good. I'm good. With
If you don't swear, I swear, but this is
I fucking
honestly.
swear, so it's okay.
This is the one podcast I've only sworn once, actually.
Okay.
But if I'm this person, I'm like, okay, what's wrong? What's going on, right? I have to kind of look in myself first.
Yeah.
And then I have to look at, of course, who I'm partnered with, right? And be like, what? Okay, what is this person doing that it's maybe not working? What am I doing that's not working? And then it's one of those things where I think, I don't want to get religious, but if you believe in God, cool. If not, cool. But I believe in God. I'm like, is this a test from him? Is this a test of him saying, are you really in it, dude, or are you not?
Yeah, I do believe in God, and I do believe that things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
Real estate wise, or anything wise, like anything in general, if you're gonna do something, man, like go in it, not just 100%, go it more. Like you have an opportunity to do it, don't waste it.
Yeah.
I do believe that who you surround yourself with the most, you're gonna attract the same habit, the same
Yep.
things that they do. So like,
You're gonna get that rub.
if you want mentorship, pick the right one, man. Like you have to see, is this guy producing? Is this guy doing things that like I want to do, I want to be? Like if not, don't go ask them to be your mentorship.
Right.
So like, dude, Anthony, he's 26, 27.
Oh wow. I
And
thought
bro,
he was
like
older.
he's a millionaire.
Is he really? That's badass. On this podcast, that's the first time someone has said that. That's badass. Shout out to you, Anthony. Great work, dude.
Like he
It's
is,
amazing.
man. Like he probably don't want to say it. He's humble, right?
Yeah.
He's a hard worker. He's worked hard for what he want.
Yeah, that's what my mom told me. Actually, she's like, I was like, something about Anthony. I was like, because I met him at Dillard's, and I've been listening to his podcast, and I told her about.
That's where you saw me from. I was on his podcast.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. And so, anyways, I was telling my mom, and she's like, "Yeah, I've actually been cleaning his office way back when they had an office over here, somewhere around this side of town." And she's like, "But the interesting is that it was not the best office, but the computers they bought the team were the best. That was their investment." I was like, "That's smart. They're not in the nicest place, but they're providing the best equipment."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Yeah, and it's crazy because in the next like 2-3 years they move downtown or something like that, and they have a really nice office now." I'm like, "That's cool. That's the way to do it, you know?"
Yeah, man. So I mean, before I joined, I didn't know Anthony. I just thought he's stuck up person, right? But everyone judge people. Like,
yes, of course.
So I mean, I am. Yeah, I mean,
Did you judge me? Be honest.
No. I like to me, I know Anthony's younger than me, and I'm older. So like my mentality was like, why am I gonna have someone else younger than me? Like, so that's me.
Yeah.
But sometimes people forget that you have to learn and get to know people.
Yep.
And myself, I'm a victim of that. So, but anyways, I get to learn about Anthony, and I was like, man, this kid is a beast.
Yeah, he's on a different level.
Yeah, he's on a different level, and he's know what he wants. And dude, that's who I want to surround myself with. Yeah. How do you do it? I want to learn it. Yeah. And dude, I feel like my first year, I did great. I mean, there's people that did better, but to me, I'm proud of what I did in my first year. 24 transactions my first year, and I did over 10 million in volume. Like I think that was good.
Wow. So. Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
How much does ego play in real estate? Have you seen or know people who have a big ego within being a real estate agent?
It's a lot. I mean, money changed everything, right?
Yeah.
And as sometimes people forget where they came from. And sometimes when they have money in their pocket, I mean, money's power. Money's like, if people use money in the wrong way, it can create a lot of ego.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. So I want to ask you a question. I don't know what the commission base is here in where we're at, But let's say we're gonna go big. That way we don't kind of
Yeah.
give out what people are earning around here.
Yeah.
But let's say you're selling a $1 million home.
Yep.
You know, before the split, because after the split it's a different, right?
Yeah.
But before the split, what's that commission looking like?
$1 million homes, if you bring a buyer to buy a home after everything's done, $30,000.
Oh wow.
And let's say you have a listing, $1 million listing, and you bring your own buyer. If you double ended, like you bring buyer, but you also represent seller, about $60,000.
Interesting how that works.
Yeah. So it just totally depends. But
I would have thought it was a lot more actually.
you thought it was gonna be a lot more. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be a lot more. It depends on. But I'm just conservative.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know, I would have thought it was more closer to maybe even 100. But that's
It has to be
10%.
longer. Yeah.
You know,
Has to be higher end homes.
yeah, higher end homes.
Yeah.
Which here, how what's from your
Average
experience?
commission.
Well, yeah, but I was gonna ask you. Well, yeah, go ahead, answer that, and then I'll ask you my question
Average commission before split.
to start off.
Probably 10.
Percent.
10,000.
Oh.
Percent.
You can, yeah, you can say
I mean,
number.
average commission is about 2.5%.
Oh, okay.
But average commission itself is probably in that $10,000 mark.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. And then after split, then it's like, oh, okay, maybe I need to sell some more homes.
Yeah.
That's not bad. But no, I was gonna ask you, what's like the some of the more expensive homes that you've seen around here, like the price ranges around here? Because there's obviously people see those homes up in the hills and they're like, oh, $1 million, but no one really knows what they cost, right? Because you're not someone who's like more in the middle class or lower middle class. You're not really looking at those type of homes. So, what is that? Those homes kind of go around for the more higher end around here.
For the middle class people?
No, for like let's say someone who's pretty
Okay.
doing pretty well.
I mean, probably $1 million up.
You think there's like $10 million homes around here?
I haven't seen one.
So maybe
I've seen one at 2 million, but that's the most I've seen so far.
2 million.
So
Dang, we're getting up there though.
we're getting up there.
That's good for you guys though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's a. Do you when you like have you sold like a higher end home like that?
The most I sold was 800.
Oh, that's
That
pretty
was not
close,
bad.
bro.
Yeah.
That's pretty close. When you step in those homes, can you see the difference like between that home?
Definitely.
Obviously you can, right? But
Definitely. It's create it helped me create goals in my head because I was
Yes.
like one day I want to have that. And dude, being in real estate is kind of hard because you always compare. You always compare what you have to other people, and you just kind of like. Sometimes my wife have to keep me grounded, just
Yeah.
like, hey, be happy with what you have. But sometimes, like, I don't know. I do believe that be happy with what you have, but also don't settle.
yeah, have that ambition.
Like, I always want more, but I don't know. It's just a drive for me.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. Is like I understand where you're coming from. You know, it's very easy to forget
Yeah.
where you are, how far you've gotten, because of what you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
You know, and that I think that's a mindset that people have when they're so driven to have a better life that sometimes you forget. Hey, man, like you started with barely something, you know, you've gotten to where you have now something, and yes, you want to get somewhere farther, but you know,
I think I posted this on social media like a few weeks ago. I was like, sometimes we forget that we were praying for things that we have now back in the day. And I did. I used to pray that I have a home that where I'm in now, and now I'm like, wait, the sky is the limit. Like I can get more. So I'm like, okay, how can I get there?
yeah.
So
What I was gonna ask you with the teams, right? We have some of the bigger teams around here, and we have some of the smaller teams around here. Why, you know, when you're picking out a team, you obviously have to look for what like they're gonna offer you, right?
Definitely.
Is it just that, or is it like to like maybe the status quo of like, oh, I work for
I
this
think
person?
I think that's what everyone is thinking, me included. Like to me, that's why I left Anthony to go join Anderson Hicks is the status. Like I work for Anderson Hicks.
Yeah, like
Like
okay,
I'm one of the best. Like I'm with Anderson Hicks now. Like work with me. Like you know, but what you should really do is see the culture of each place because everyone's different. Like you might not like top notch with Anthony because things we do, like we focus on social media, we are fun, young, and like we love to have fun while
yes,
we at work, and fun mean different thing to different people, right? Maybe you don't like the fun we do,
yeah,
and I'm sure other team have fun things, other team have other things that they do that differently. So I say probably look into those, interview with a lot of different company, different teams, and see what they have to offer, what cultures look like for them, what is their goal, what is their vision, the age group. Like
yeah,
sometimes you might not match well with older people, then that might not be the place for you.
yeah,
Some team more laid back than other. So I would say when you pick a team is interview not just one team, go to all the team if you can,
yeah,
and see what they have to offer.
yeah,
And Anderson Hicks, I mean, nothing bad about them. They're great. They do great thing. They believe in things that working for them, and it's great. But just not for me.
right.
So
Yeah, I like how you say that. I've heard many times that culture is what builds the company.
Yep.
Culture is what builds the brand, and you have to fit in a culture,
Yeah.
and you have to like the culture.
Yep.
If not, then it's gonna be
Yeah,
dreadful, man.
just drama, and you're not gonna be happy going to work. The main thing is you want to be surrounded by people that gonna make your life better.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, Anderson Hick would have made my life better, but I have to force myself to fit in their beliefs and things that they do. So I'm just like, no, I that's not me.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. I like that. With as far as like flipping, selling,
Yeah,
and renting,
yeah.
for you as a real estate agent, what do you think is more profitable?
Woo, that's a hard question, man.
Personally, right? Because I mean, with real
Yeah.
estate, obviously it's selling, but
Yeah,
as a person who's trying to create wealth in that
I would
field,
say pick one thing that you're good at. Don't do all of it at once, just because it could just destroy everything you're trying to do.
yeah,
I have a family member, well, a friend that involved in the family. He's a wholesaler in real estate, and he loved doing that. So he just focusing on that.
what's a wholesaler?
Pretty much, you go and pick up home that, let's say, people that's struggling, like, hey, I can't make mortgage payment and stuff like that. So you pick it up for cheap, and then you turn around trying to sell it to investor or trying to turn around, flip it and stuff, and you can make bigger chunk of money. But he loved doing that, so he just focusing on that. I mean, he's still a real estate agent, but he only do real estate, like helping clients when he has someone reach out. He's not focusing on go and find clients actively. So to answer your question, I would say anything can make good profit for you. You just have to be good at that thing and focus on that thing.
Yeah,
So
makes sense. What are 2 books you recommend people to read about, getting into real estate or just the mindset overall? Just 2 books that have impacted your life.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay, great book.
Rich Dad Poor Dad is one of the book that you have to read. Another book that I picked up. I'm not a reader. I'm more like a listen to podcasts, listen to books. I don't read them. I just listen. But Rich Dad Poor Dad, and the other one is 7 Habits
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one I picked that one up when I was at the dealership. It teach you different habits that you can become a great person.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, I don't read much, so I don't think yeah. So I might not be the good person to ask.
No, those are two great books though. Rich Dad Poor Dad, amazing book.
Yeah,
The Seven Habit book. I think I know what you're talking about,
yeah.
but I forget who wrote the
I
book.
think it was Dave Covey, something like
It
that.
might.
I'll send you the
Yeah,
picture of it.
send me a
so,
picture of it so I
yeah.
can check it out.
Yeah.
No, I read a lot. Right now I'm reading a
Really?
self-discipline book. Yeah.
That's good, man.
Yeah, I I like audiobooks, but I have to be doing something to where I can pay attention but also be not fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll fall asleep on audiobooks.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it's the worst. And then with reading, same thing. I have to read like out in the daytime, whether like the sun is out. Because
Nice.
if I read at night,
You out.
I'm out, dude. Lights
Yeah.
out. Dang, bro, that's just cool. I really like what you stand behind for what
Yeah.
you stand. And I've had other real estate agents in here, and I've had some that are just barely starting, right, and they're starting their career, and I wish them the best. They know who they are, and I've had some who are, 30 years, 20 years deep, and it's very interesting because you're kind of in the middle. It's very interesting to see the different spectrums and the different sides, and obviously you're with a group who's very young, very.
Yeah.
To me, I haven't been, but I want to go to you guys' office just to check it out one of these days because it seems very fun, very
Yeah.
uplifting.
Uplifting,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, uplifted. Yeah, that's a great word. For you, last question I have for you, bro, is what are some like 2-3 things that you're doing right now to better yourself than last year or your real estate career? What are things that are that you're doing?
I try to listen more,
Okay.
listen to people, listen to clients, and just let them talk. I feel like before I don't know, I try to rush the process, and now I'm trying to take my time and get to know that person and learn about them and actually just dived into who they are and stuff and just get to know them more like making friends
Yep.
than actually helping them buying a house. And I think that's what I'm focusing on is because I want to have that connection. Once we have that connection, I feel like things going to be a lot easier and better to work with. And also something that I'm trying to get better on is pretty much stay consistent on my content creating. I've been doing it since October
Yeah,
of last year.
Yeah, you're when you go to restaurants and show those, dude, those are amazing.
Yeah,
I love those.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep doing what I do on social media, but trying to be different because, dude, people around here, they do the same thing. They put house on Facebook. They put
Tell me about it.
right.
Yeah.
I
The drone shots?
No, I mean people just slap photos on Facebook and market it, like have a bunch of words like script, like descriptions on how they want. Uh, let's see. So most real estate agent advertise the house, put just photos, and then just have a lot of description. Everyone's doing that. So what I'm trying to be better at is do a walkthrough video, drone shots,
The drone
all
shots
this
are
stuff.
awesome.
But I'm not gonna be doing like, hey, welcome to this home, blah 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 blah, right? And then just like go look at it, and then just I'm trying to be different. I'm trying
Yes.
to create. I'm trying to put my energy into it and
Yep.
bring that excitement and just be different.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think creativity plays a huge part in
Yeah.
that. And if you can find your creative niche on how to do it,
Yeah.
dude, the
Yeah.
sky's the limit, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
And so that's super cool, dude. I love your content, dude. That
Thank
I
you.
found out about this boss
Boss Papas.
Boss Papas. I haven't been, but I've been wanting to go for
Yeah.
ever since you showed that when you went. I've told my wife I want to go, and I see them here
Yeah.
and there sometimes, and I haven't stopped, but that's how I found out about that. So, yeah. Anyways, bro, any last words you want to say? If you don't want to plug in your social media,
One last thing I want to say is, if you want to do something, do it. Follow your dream. Don't be afraid. You have to jump. I was at the restaurant working with my family, and my family believed that that's the only thing I could do. If you want to do something, listen to your heart, listen to your gut, and just follow through with it. Make the jump. The jump is scary, but the reward is there. You have to take risks to get that reward, and if I can do it, I'm not talking about real estate, but like if I can do it, anyone can do it. If that person can do it, you can do it. So if you want to do something in life, don't wait. Jump and make the change and go after it. I think you're not gonna regret later. Like, I wish I could have done that sooner. I wish that would have made that jump sooner. So I say do it now, so that way you don't have to be like, I wish I could have, I wish I would have, and all that stuff. So
great advice. Love it.
Yep.
Your social medias, bro.
My social media? What
Yeah.
about my social media?
What's your at?
Oh, my at. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just my name. Just at Nick Jackuchan. So NickJackuchan, Nick Jackuchan. That's all my social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'm doing YouTube shorts right now. I'm gonna jump into long form YouTube here shortly. But yeah, guys, thank you for having me here.
I appreciate you coming, bro.
it.
This was a fun conversation for me. Like I said earlier, I've been wanting to have you in here for some time, and
you.
finally made it happen, dude. It's amazing. So thank you. I truly appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Guys, go check us out on Apple, Spotify, Once a Project Podcast. Check us out on Instagram at the OAP Official, Brandon A. Lara, Jackie, AAACKE_. Also on YouTube, Once a Project Podcast, guys. Subscribe, follow, and you guys already know the deal. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.